RuBy's in here. Oh man, RuBy is in here, and he's going to be able to take out that bunker, take out all the Marines. The Marines falling back. But Go.Go's in big, big trouble. Go.Go losing a tank, another tank, a second tank, and now he's trying to get his third tank into position. But RuBy could definitely do this. RuBy could definitely come in here and end this right now if he plays very, very aggressive. He moves in with his tanks right now. Although, yeah, his backup troops are kind of piecemeal. I think he's committing to something else at this point, going for another refinery and going to kick in his economy yet again. But yeah, he put on a ton of pressure and got some damage done, some army damage. And he's going to be able to deny a scout for a little while since he has siege tanks right outside the natural expansion. So yes, very early pressure from him. Starport coming up for Go.Go, going straight for his starport. I think for drops. I think he's going to drop inside the main. This base is very, very prone to drops, as I've seen in many Terran versus Protoss games. Lots of drops all over the place, because if you take a base behind the mineral line, all you have to do is drop a couple siege tanks back there, and you can deny mining forever. Okay, one tank being unsieged. I think RuBy's going to pull that up a little bit. Well, Go.Go. Sorry, getting my colors mixed up already. Go.Go sieging in this position. I think he'll be able to take out this one tank. RuBy trying to repair that tank, but yes, it does go down. And Go.Go he did have the high ground, so it's going to be even harder for those tanks to go down. And RuBy might be losing his grip here. He's trying to keep the contain on Go.Go, but he's going to have a very hard time doing that, seeing as though Go.Go is going strictly for his tanks. And he's inching up just without out of range of those siege tanks. The siege tanks' vision, anyway. Now he's still pushing out, getting rid of this contain. This contain is not going to stay here. RuBy's going to have to back up with all of his troops. If he has anything in that bunker, I hope he gets rid of that soon. Yes, some Marines, very valiant Marines, still in the bunker. They're going to die, so goodbye, Marines. And yes, looks like RuBy's going to fall back, come up with another plan, and probably try to expand again very, very soon. Oh, going for more factories, so he's going to push this with factories while Go.Go going for a drop ship, going for some drop ship play. And he could definitely do the same thing to RuBy that RuBy did to him in the last game, which is just drop inside the main, kind of curl into a corner, and make it difficult to tackle the huge tank force. So he could definitely do that, especially considering that RuBy is going for another base. Going for another base over here. That could be dropped too. Go.Go could drop right behind the minerals, siege there, and make RuBy's life a living hell. And RuBy, thankfully, is getting up his control tower, his Air Force control tower, full of people to get out dropships of his own. Okay, and he's positioning his tanks, going to try to keep Go.Go from getting a reverse contain on him, although Go.Go coming up here. Go.Go is moving up. I'm not sure if Go.Go knows about the tanks or not. He might be shot by these tanks if he's not careful. He sees the tanks now. But he might be able to sneak by this, actually. I think Go.Go's going to sneak right by this little tank squad. Oh, he's chickening out, falling back, trying to attack move into these other tanks. But the splash damage from that one tank could be a crucial factor. More tanks coming in from RuBy. Some backup tanks might be able to completely destroy Go.Go's army. Go.Go trying to move up, fight the tanks, and make use of the splash damage. But RuBy did an excellent job there, coming up from the bottom with some surprise tanks to take out what Go.Go had. Now he has a dropship in the area just to get full vision on everything. Going to attack move himself into these tanks. And Go.Go's crack squad of commandos, they had a golden opportunity to move up into the natural, but he kind of chickened out. Decided not to box himself in, which actually might have been a good decision, because RuBy, he could have come in with backup troops from all of his factories and surrounded Go.Go basically. But Go.Go in the meantime would have got a lot of damage done. Go.Go going to drop inside the main. He's doing the same thing to RuBy that RuBy did to him, but he's not dropping as many troops this time, so I think this will eventually be cleaned up. RuBy pulling all of his SCVs off the line. And at Go.Go, he dropped, I think, another tank just to make sure that he could destroy everything. And he's actually doing some nice dropship micro now to get his troops out of that base. Probably going to wait for at least a couple more dropships full of troops before he tries to drop that again. But yeah, he definitely could get a ton of damage done if he goes for another kind of attack like that. A doom drop, if you will. But RuBy picking up troops of his own. He has 2 dropships of his own. He's going to be probably 1 dropship behind Go.Go, but that doesn't mean that he can't go down and get a ton of damage on Go.Go as well. Go.Go's moving up with 3 dropships now full of troops. See, I think he's going to drop right into the main yet again and try to take out at least 1 or 2 production buildings. They're focusing on RuBy's face here. Look at his eyes going back and forth from the mini-map to the front. And RuBy, for whatever reason, lifting off. Oh, he kind of I think he lifted that off accidentally. Tried to put down that comsat station, but he accidentally placed it a little bit too far to the right. But Go.Go dropping everything to destroy these tanks. Does destroy the tanks, but being picked at himself, there is another Goliath in the area just to help that one tank. So Go.Go not completely successful, but he is going to have Goliaths in to get the economic damage of this base over at the 2 o'clock now. So Go.Go is in a better position in this game, I think. He's gotten the economic damage, he's gotten some excellent troop damage, and he's dropped it to the main, just keeping RuBy paranoid. And RuBy's going to float over another base soon. Oh man, RuBy finally taking care of that, putting down another base. I think RuBy is going heavy bases now. I think he's going heavy macro mode. And let's see what Go.Go does now. I think Go.Go should probably try to at least drop the 2 o'clock is probably the best option for him right now. It's very hard to get back to that 2 o'clock base unless you have a bunch of drop ships. And I think that's what Go.Go's doing. He's coming in here with his dropships. He's going to drop back here and get a ton of damage done before RuBy's even ready. RuBy's trying to build turrets just to fend this kind of attack off, but he was a little bit too late in building those. He's going to have to run his SCVs yet again and come in with some dropships of his own. He's moving down the map with a bunch of SCVs just to help him plow through the tanks, I think. This could be very effective from him. But, yes, This is actually looking like kind of an all-in maneuver. Maybe he's running low on troop count or something like that. He's getting some damage done, but maybe not as much as he'd want to get done. He's having to, yeah, he's being completely surrounded by Go.Go now. GG from RuBy. Denying of that 3rd base was definitely crucial for Go.Go. Oh, man, put the key in the ignition. Time to power up that Rafflecopter. Moving into the 3rd set.